Yeah, good morning, everybody. What's happening? Happy Monday. Yeah, I mean, Shemaine, man, Coach Far in the building. I hope you guys had a chance to check out the latest Knicks Corner. Me and Danny B finally got back together after this little mini hiatus. And, we held it down the way that we hold it down, and it was a great time as always. Big shouts to Papa Left and them. We got another Summer League game tonight, thankfully. They added a consolation game to our little record. So we got one more piece before the 6 to 8 week break between the end of the Summer League and the start of training camp. The guys have been playing very well. I mean, again, at the end of the day, it is Summer League. But I do feel like what we're seeing they're not anomalies. They're not things that we're not going to see again. So I'm okay with that. And what's funny is and myself included, we've all gone back to say, well, Summer League doesn't matter. Just look at Kevin Knox. Kevin Knox had a very, very good Summer League. And then it was followed up with a not so great season. And arguably, that's on the fault of a couple of folk. I feel like Fizz and them didn't necessarily have good training skills, and I feel like Kevin was very unsure of himself. And I feel like, honestly, that last Fizdale Miller time actually kind of hurt his confidence more than helped. And so with the new regime, he came in. And again, his shot was pretty good last year. It's just that his defense was wildly lacking. He was getting burnt on D a whole lot. And I feel like he went into the offseason wanting to correct those things. And I feel like he started that. Of course, we haven't seen any workout film from him or anything like that, but who gives a crap about workout film? I know he wanted to be a part of the Summer League, and that was tremendous, to be perfectly honest with you. And it's not his fault that COVID hit and he couldn't participate. So to me, COVID coming is not tea leaves. It's COVID, you know what I mean? That's not a signification of anything, in my humble opinion. And I'm sure, I know I'm sure because I've heard the conversations. I am absolutely positive that people are using the COVID as a part of the reason why he's done and no longer here. And that's just odd to me. Just me personally, it just is. You know what I mean? That, an illness that he didn't run out and personally go try to contract would be something that would derail the rest of his career. I would hope not. Really, I would hope not. I would hope the organization is a tad bit savvier than that. And savvy to the point where, listen, if Kevin is done here in New York, selling him for a bag of nickels doesn't make any sense to our growth and development, and just cutting the loss. I don't get that either. He's, cut the loss. He's a player. Let's see what he can do. We were on a Twitter Spaces yesterday. Big shouts, Danny B. Your Twitter Spaces are awesome. We were on a Twitter Spaces yesterday, and people were talking about how many of these players that we let go that we see in the finals or we see in the playoffs doing well, Langston Galloway's and all of these other folks, Tim Hardaway's and them. And, we can't stand to see that. But at the same time, we're the first ones, he's done. He's done. He's done. They're done. Everybody's done. I'm not saving Kevin Knox's career with this video. I'm not even attempting that. But I really do wonder why we are so quick to cut things off. I mean, I'm sorry. Frank is gone. Peace out, doggy. I get it. He's gone. He's out of here. Whatever. we did a piss poor job of developing that young man. You know what I mean? So whether he gets picked up or goes to China or whatever, that's partly the Knicks' fault. It really is. You know, and honestly, us just cutting folk sometimes is silly. It just is. Yeah, he's not the point guard of our dreams, but he had a chance to be something because he showed some innate ability. And, you know, it's great that we got a kid in Deuce McBride that shows very similar things, you know, and he hopefully will get an opportunity to be developed right. You know, we finally got the right people in to do this thing. And I just feel like some of the guys that were a part of the last regimes and the bad taste that's in our mouths from them ain't all their fault. You know, we were not a good organization at that time. And, you know, we forget that part too. We remember it and forget it at the same time when it comes down to, you know, on a higher level, we understand that. But then when it comes down to the smaller, most minute parts of that, where the root cause was still that overarching issue, you know, now it's not the overarching issue, it's the player. But that's me. You know what I mean? I am a developmental coach. That's me. I got to get the best out of you. And I got to give you the opportunity to get the best out of yourself. And here's the thing. A lot of these players that don't catch on with the place that drafted them or something like that, they end up catching on elsewhere. And maybe it's a new system. Maybe it's a new coach. Maybe it's a developmental staff. But I just feel like there's something more to Kevin. And y'all assuming he's getting 5 to 6 minutes a game. Again, and you might be right based on what happened last year. But based on what we thought going into the offseason last year, we weren't going to have that great of a season. And we were completely and utterly wrong. So here's my thing. Why can't we be wrong here, too? That's all. You know, it's two-pronged. It's not, you know, I mean, again, I saw the Miles Turner, and our deal would be second-round picks, Mitch and Knox. Firstly, who in the world says that gets it done on Indiana's side of the house? You know, Miles Turner's making a whole lot more money than Mitch is right now. And yeah, we gotta deal with that next year, but that's next year. You know, we do a trade like that, we gotta deal with that now. And honestly, yes, Miles Turner is, I mean, look, I watch him. I'm not sitting here saying I watch every Pacer game, but I do watch more than the highlights and YouTube clips and stuff of them. I don't watch that stuff at all. I do turn on games. I got NBA tickets, so during the season, I watch plenty of games. I don't just watch like Knicks games, even though that's the main game that I watch. And Miles Turner is a good player. There's literally no knock to him. But that's what I'm saying, is why would a good player that can really help Indiana's futures, you know, be traded? The issue he had and TJ Warren had was with the coach that is no longer here. So I don't understand why people would put him on the market, let alone tie us to us. And if Kevin Knox can't sniff the court, why in the world would Indiana trade for him? And this is what I'm saying. Trade value is important, you know, and while we think a guy ain't worth XYZ, but we're not GMs, we're not scouts, we're none of that stuff. We're folk on Twitter that watch games, me included. So I'm just, you know, I don't like to give up on folk until I feel as though they've had a sufficient chance to do something. And I feel like teams won't trade or give up good players for peanuts. So if we regard Kevin Knox as peanuts, the most we're going to get is a second-round pick for him, a late second-round pick at that. And that doesn't do anything for anybody. You know, I'm sorry. That doesn't do anything for anybody. So trading that just for the sake of getting him off the team, it's not like he's a cancer. It's not like he's doing anything to detrimental to the team. So I don't really get, we got to go, we got to just cut our losses. What losses? Even with him, dude, with Elfrid Payton on the team, we made the 4th seed. You know what I mean? It's not like Kevin Knox is holding us back. You know, I mean, and what if they're able to reach him this season and he's able to supply the minutes in the production that we want him to be able to do? That solves a problem very inexpensively. You know what I mean? And again, if he does it, look, get him some tape, get him some favorable tape, you know, of him doing some good things, and then try to get a better trade than what he is currently worth now. You know, I mean, we're a stacked team, whether we make a move or not. And I honestly feel like we don't need to make a move for Miles Turner. We don't need to give up on Mitchell Robinson, because that's really what that is. See, the quiet part about that people aren't speaking on is if we do this Kevin Knox thing and trade, guess what? It's still going to be Mitch having to go as well. And I'm sorry, I'm not sold on getting rid of Mitch. You know, my mind is fully set on the fact that Mitchell Robinson is one of the absolute main reasons why our defense was as stout as it was last year. And if we're going to run it back, we need to run it back with the same kind of guys that got us there in the first place. You know what I mean? He broke his hand and he broke his foot. Guys, those are not frequent injuries. Those are not things that reoccur. You know what I mean? It's not hamstring. It's not ligaments. You know what I mean? It's not ankle. So, you know, this whole Mitch is oft injured stuff, I'm not buying. I'm not on that boat. You know what I mean? And we needed him in the playoffs last season. And if y'all can't recognize that, then y'all can't recognize that. I feel you. But, you know, listen, he was a main reason of everything of going right last year. You know, and you reward your guys. I mean, we were just talking about it on Knicks Corner, man. He just posted the new video. He's so proud of, you know, how Kenny Payne and them got his body right and he's stronger and this, that, and the third. You know, I mean, dude, these folk want to be here. They want to be here. You know what I mean? They're working hard so that they can be here and so that they can continue the success. You know, again, this is all about continuity and growth. And I'm sorry, at this point, I don't think, and again, this is me, and I'm here to have a conversation with anybody willing to have it. Y'all know that. But I am not in any mood, shape, or form to want to get rid of Mitch at this point, and I don't even know why we're having those conversations. You know what I mean? Miles Turner is nice, but again, we do that with every single kind of player. We always seem to want to compare these guys to our guys and then undervalue our guys and be willing to package most of our guys to get one of them guys. I am more excited, to be honest, about, yo, I want to see us in the preseason. I can't wait, you know. I'm sorry. Yo, Kemba can give me 20 minutes a game, yo, for 60 games. You don't have to play all 82. Give me 20 minutes a game for 60 games. Derek about the same. You know what I mean? And we mix, you know, Quickly, McBride, Grimes. We mix all of that up. You know what I mean? And I really would like to see what that looks like. I know that these point guards are going to help get Julius and RJ in better positions for themselves. You know, Evan Fournier is a solid bucket. He's a vet. He knows what to do. You know, I mean, honestly, I don't know where he is defensively, to be perfectly honest. And I'm not out on him at all or anything like that. I just feel like he's a good piece for a solid team. So as long as the team is solid, his minutes will be positive. You know. But Obi is definitely developing. And no, Obi and Randall don't need to share the court at the same time, in my humble opinion. Not now. I mean, dude, he's a second-year player. Yeah, he was drafted 8th. Yeah, wasn't Knox or somebody drafted 8th? Come on. Folk don't have to always start just because of their draft position. I'm sorry. I'm not one that says, oh, well, you were drafted high, so you have to. If I'm not mistaken, Randall was still drafted higher. So, doesn't that count for him? You know what I mean? So, I would still bring Obi off the bench, but to me, that just means I can play Obi a lot more minutes off the bench this year than I could last year because he can do a whole lot more things than he could last year. Which only makes us even friggin' frack better. You know what I mean? It makes us the very, very niceness that we need to be. Obi, Quickly, Burks, Derrick Rose, and Nerlens Noel off the bench. I said this Friday, and I might get killed for it, but I do believe that, you know, especially with some of these whacker teams that are out there, that bench could very well be a starting lineup for one of these other teams. You know what I mean? And at worst, it's a really, really, really solid bench where we can get a lot of minutes from and a lot of production. And then we still have, you know, the 11th and 12th, you know what I mean, person on the team. And, I mean, honestly, and that's Jericho Simpson. And so, you know, even at the far end of the bench with Taj and Jericho Sims, dude, I mean, we're deep. We're very, very deep. If we continue to develop and come together, yeah, our sky's the limit, to be perfectly honest, because we're all in our imagination right now. So before anything actually hits the concrete, yeah, the sky's the limit. I'm not worried about doing realistically. I mean, shoot, it's August. You know what I mean? I'll worry about that come December and like February time frame. Again, big shouts to Papa Left, man. You, CK, and them, and Greg, everybody just really repped really hard for the Knicks during Vegas Summer League. And as Knicks fans, we really appreciate it. You know what I mean? When the announcers talking about Knicks fans because we're repping so hard during the Summer League game, that speaks again to the culture. Knicks fans travel. Knicks fans support the Knicks. Knicks fans rock. And that's what it is. Ladies and gentlemen, I always appreciate you kicking it with me. Have a great Monday. I'll see you guys online. Make sure y'all check Off the Board Network for the articles this week. They have been going so hard on NFL and NBA and everything, man. Golf, too. I mean, so much. Then there's great articles out. Check out Off the Board Network. Go to the website. You know what I mean? And I will talk to y'all later, man. I said later, man.